the CO, cut the C4, grab the detonator, just blizzo. My fist is fully clipped, I'm never running out. Big Daddy sounding hair rush, that's what we about. You wanna cock and squeeze on your records, nigga please. Bandanas and back, screen gangster, but where you at? Spitting this flame straight at your game and your fame. You come to the land, we pop them links out your chain.
I'm all that, fuck the bag of chips and the dip. I need a white leather glove full of studs so I can smack a bit. Senseless, the whole clique is relentless. Rolling through the hood in the Rome on some pimp shit. Recognize pimpin' at the top of its game. Here comes the Jackster, spitting out flames. Cash hooked it up, Mr. Real made the call. So come and get some, fuck some, I came to take it all.
Get you some if you want you some. Get you some. Treat yourself, get you some. If you want you some. Get you some if you want you some. Get you some. Treat yourself, get you some.
I'm on top of the world, man. Niggas gotta respect. We the rawest niggas holding it down for the Midwest. Got your hands in the air like a crook with the full fifth. And products stay hotter, cause niggas they talk shit. So the love is optional, but respect they gotta give. We doing it for years and lyrically splitting wigs. Y'all niggas don't want this, but that on my first kid. Who the man, nigga? Don't be getting it twisted.
Do you really want this? For screws to come and run shit, getting money in 20s, 50s, and 100s. Living the life, getting it right. The cars, house, women, and ice. Just because it's all was ripping the mic, spitting it tight. Game tight, flame hot. Y'all don't really want that, cause we got this game locked with the hip hop. Non-stop hotness is what I give them till I drop. I'ma get me some, nigga.
Get you some if you want you some. Get you some. Treat yourself, get you some. If you want you some. Get you some if you want you some. Get you some. Treat yourself, get you some.
Get you walking just a taste of that liquid shit. Niggas yell if you feeling it. Ladies bout shaking bigly, giving you just a little bit more. But the bold this bitch represent to the fullest. Then back up if you can handle it. Bring it up and then handle it. Damn it, the hell I'm sick of. Niggas talking like they be walking, but ain't really gangsta. Calling your bluff, breaking them down, shaking them up. You wanted, you with it, to get it, nigga. Come on, gus.
I got the block out of sale like I just broke out of jail. I'm a young black male out on this $1 million bail. Like a runaway slave, got to get free. Y'all can't fuck with me, I'm dangerous. I'm on some other shit. Get a grip as I flip this like a brick. I'ma rock the spot, feeling blasted like a cock to you now. I'm blowing your mind, going for mine. Man, this brain rapes the crime. And fucking give me my time, nigga. Gus.
Get you some if you want you some. Get you some. Treat yourself, get you some. If you want you some. Get you some if you want you some. Get you some. Treat yourself, get you some.
This right here is where it all began. Back in this little bedroom you see back in 1978. My best friend Robert Jones had a punk rock band called the Bleeders, which we lost our original drummer, which my brother Greg decided to step in and replace him as Dr. X. He wore a little cape. He also didn't really like punk rock, not at all, but he did it anyway. Years later he decided to get into hip hop, which I say he has done very well and very successful for himself.
Yeah, that's right. Like my brother said, I got into music in 1978. I was 10 years old. I was the drummer in his band called the Bleeders. Yeah, it was a punk rock band. All I wanted to do was play the drums. So even though my brother says I wasn't really into punk rock music, which was true, all I really wanted to do was play the drums. 1982 came. And that was my first experience with hip hop. I got a hold of a hip hop track from a friend of mine who lived 2 doors down, Patrick Hale. Rest in peace, Patrick. Patrick introduced me to hip hop. I guess he was a Jehovah's Witness, and I think they went on a trip to New York, and he had brought a tape back with some hip hop on it. And instantaneously, I fell in love with hip hop. From then on, I wanted to DJ. Obviously, I had to pick up anything I could that had hip hop on it so I could figure out what was going on. And I was able to catch Grandmaster Flash on MTV going back to back with either Billie Jean or Beat It, one of them. But he was going back to back and he was tearing it up. I seen that and I said, oh, definitely, I am going to be a DJ. So from then on, me and my friends in the neighborhood, we jumped into hip hop head first, never looking back. At that time, hip hop was called a fad. They didn't think it was going to be around long, but me and my friends knew it was going to be around for a long time. So fast forward, I get my first DJ gig at Marion Franklin Recreation Center. At that time, hip hop was still not around, but even though I had heard of it, I still couldn't get myself on any hip hop music. So at the time, I think when my first gig that I did at the Marion Franklin Recreation Center, I played disco, funk, and some R&B music. That was my first DJ gig at Marion Franklin Recreation Center. Right around that time, I hooked up with a friend of mine, Marcel Boyce, one of my best friends, who was also jumping into hip hop. And we formed a group called the Funky Fresh Crew. I was the DJ, Marcel wrote the lyrics, and we brought his younger brother, Dontel Boyce, into the group. And the Funky Fresh Crew, we would take old break beats and we would make songs off of old break beats with me going back to back on the old break beats. And we made a demo tape of us, me going back to back with break beats and Marcel and Donnie rapping over those break beats. We did a fun thing with Roxanne with UTFO, Mixmaster Ice. You know I love you. We didn't try to do anything to discredit the group. We was just jumping in the hip hop fun of it, and we did this music video that I'll show a little piece of right now.
Who is this crew called UTF Who? I'm about to show you what we're gonna do. So DJ Kaz and WizKid and D are about to make it sound sweet. So Kaz, why don't you bust that beat? Do you hear the fresh sound? It's getting around about the Funky Fresh Crew that's new in town. With 3 light-skinned brothers, cause there is no other. The fresh heartbreakers and the cold women love. Well, I'm D and I'm M, and D's our friend with a new beginning, cause there is no end. Co-chilling with the beat, that's all our own. 2 dominating MCs on the microphone. We gotta get down, but not solo to be on the weak level of UTFO. A Mixmaster Ice, your cuts are nice, but you don't use them once, you use them more than twice. I heard you cool for your cuts are really fast, but let me see if you can deal with DJ Kaz.
While I was doing the Funky Fresh Crew thing, I was also going to Fort Hays Career Center. And at Fort Hays Career Center is where we made that music video. That was one of my projects to get a grade. But at Fort Hays Career Center, I was going there for radio and TV broadcasting, is where I met DJ Kid Magic. And me and DJ Kid Magic, we just hit it off, and we were knuckleheads in school, but we loved hip hop. And so they were putting together a group called the 4 Ultimate DJs, and they called me. I think I was the 4th member to join the 4 Ultimate DJs.
What's happening? I'm gonna take y'all back, way back, far back as I can remember. So before us coming together as the 4 Ultimate DJs or Big Daddy Sounds or any of that, I can remember us being at Fort Hays Career Center. And this is before I fully became a DJ. I was just like tinkering, like trying to find out what it is, you know, developing my style, my skills. So at Fort Hays Career Center, it was me, Kaz, Tony Scales and Mike Kellum, DJ Faze, and we was like tight. We was like pretty much clicked together. And the teacher hated it because we played around a lot. We was always in the antics. Mr. Gray and Mr. Crawford, they used to call us the four boneheads. So they would have projects for us, but we always took it to hip hop, and they hated that shit. So I remember one time they was like, we need you to make a project. So we teamed up. It was me and Tony and Greg and Faze. And it was basically hip hop on wax, hip hop on video, and we were like b-boys battling and stuff. So we would do silly stuff like we would. This is before they had 1200s there. They had the circle turntable on the table, and we took the stuff off and was scratching. And the teacher hated it. We were just acting up. It was hip hop was trying to come out of us, and that's how I first met DJ Kaz. And that was like the funnest time of my life because it was the beginning. It was the cutting floor. It was before the mixtapes, before CTNT, before anything. So we bonded. And as time progressed, I start getting deeper and deeper into the mixing and stuff and start doing mixtapes. We had a 4-man DJ group. And we had a guy that was in the group. I'm not going to say his name. And he was good, but he wasn't dedicated. He wasn't making rehearsals and stuff. So we were getting mad and tired of him not showing up. So we decided to kick him out of the group. So we needed a new DJ. And I knew Kaz was dope. And I talked to him about it, and he said he was down for it. So that's how we started the 4 Ultimate DJs. And then one of the DJs, Top Notch, he was already on CTNT. He had his own show, and he was like, they got a contest where they're looking for the ultimate mix, and whoever wins gets a show. And so we got in it, of course, and we turned our mix in, and we won. So that's how the 4 Ultimate DJs, all of us, got our show. So we start rocking out, we start doing parties, and it got to the point where it was so many parties for us to do, we had to branch off. So it might be me and Top Notch, and it might be Greg and Pony. At the same time, we were doing high school dances and stuff. We was popping. We was doing real good. And that's how the 4 Ultimate DJs got started. And then later on, the 4 Ultimate DJs dissolved, and everybody went their own way. Everything was still cool. It was all love. And Kaz started his label, Big Daddy Sounds, and we stayed in touch. We collabed on some things. I was on one or two of his mixtapes, and it's all love. And that's my memories. Oh, I got another one for you. So there was this. Everybody that knows me knows that DJ Wiz, rest in peace, was my ultimate, what do you want to call it, enemy, because we both came from Driving Park. So he was like, actually he was doing it way before I was doing it. So he was the man already, and then I was coming up. So it's like we bumped heads. And one day I was doing a party at the Fireman's Bingo Hall. I'll never forget. And he called me out, but he had a bunch of DJs with him. He had like 5 DJs with him, and they all surrounded me. And I was young and ignorant. Instead of just ignoring them, I went down to their level and turned the music off, and I said, we can battle right now. And it was a mess because everybody rushed the stage and was throwing money up. It was like, I got such and such on Wiz, I got such and such on Magic. And I just said, nah, this ain't the way I want to handle it. We're going to handle it a different way. So I went back and talked to my boys about it, and Kaz was like, man, I don't care what goes on. I'm going to get my scratches off. So he had my back, and I'll never forget that. He was like, man, you battle him, I'm getting some scratches off. You know what I'm saying? We could do this. But yeah, Kaz has always been my man, 100. And also, I remember him going to New York, taking trips, coming back, bringing music, breaking music first before anybody. Any of the DJs on the mixtapes. He would have the stuff, and I was like, man, I need that. He would break the music first, and a lot of people don't know you know, we had New York Spotlight, but he had it before New York Spotlight because he was going straight to the source. He was going to New York, the Apple, and getting the dope hip hop. And a lot of times he would bring it back and play it, and people didn't want to hear it. And then by the time it got popular, he had thrown it out or something and had to buy it again. But groundbreaking every time. And my man never stopped. He's a legend, and I'm proud to be friends with him to this day. Never ever had a sour note with this man. He's solid 100.
Used to DJ, 15, 16 years old. Guy named by the name of Kid Magic had a cassette. Listened to the cassette, thought he was pretty fresh. And there was a contest on a CTNT radio station. At that time, you had to have cable to get it. And I went to Dana and asked him, you know, hey, did you want to contest? Did you want to put something together as far as doing a mix? He agreed to it. He said he had two other people that wanted to get involved in it. I said, cool. So all four of us got together and we made submitted a DJ mixtape. And about 2 or 3 weeks later, we won the contest. Funny part about it is, though, we came in second, but the people who DJ'd first, their tape was so distorted that it couldn't be played on the radio. So we were second, so we ended up becoming the winners in the contest, which was cool, worked out for us. So we became the 4 Ultimate DJs. And after that, though, the two other members wanted to leave, so they left and did their thing. And so Dana said he knew 2 other DJs, DJ Kaz and DJ Top Notch. And so we met them, we got together, and we just started DJing parties, and we blew up. We worked at CTNT. We had a CTNT show on Fridays from 6 to 7, and we would meet over at Dana's house in the basement down there. We would do our cutting, mixing, going back to back, whatever it is we did. And so every week we would submit a tape. They would play it every Friday on CTNT from 6 to 7 o'clock. So then we started doing parties. Parties were fresh. We were DJing so many parties, we had to split up. Like me and Kaz would do some, Kaz and Dana would do some, Top Notch would do some. It was just that crazy. We DJed our first party was the Champion Party House where I met my wife, and so that was our first party. Second party might have been I think we did the skating rink. We did the Gilbert Party House, and again we were just doing, you know, we did some house parties for people that wanted to do house parties, and again, man, it was sweet. 1985, we was blowing up the spot. We were DJing, and me and Kaz, we would go to New York. Me and Kaz got super tight because he knew my 2 cousins, which automatically we bonded. We would go to New York. We was trying to get on the B-Boy Records. We stayed with my aunt in Co-op City. Rest in peace, Aunt Camilla. Oh man, let me see. B-Boy Records. Then we came back. We didn't get on, but it's all good though. We ended up doing our own thing anyway, ourselves, which was definitely cool. But me and Kaz were just super tight to this day. And I remember the first time we heard "Paid in Full" by Eric B. and Rakim. We lost our freaking minds. We thought that was all that mattered, was Eric B. and Rakim. We heard "Paid in Full" because his voice and everything was so fresh about him. And another thing too, though, me and Kaz, we would bring records back from New York to Columbus, and we would play them. Matter of fact, I used to call my records Pony Fresh Premiere, and I got that from Mr. Magic on the radio station. He always said world premiere, so I went on and stole some of his. I called it Pony Fresh Premiere. Now I play stuff that never either didn't make it to Columbus or it got here later. But me and Kaz though, we was already playing new stuff, big time. Breaks, all kinds of different R&B, but mostly hip hop though. Stuff that again never even made it or got here later. We had already had it. We moved on to the next single after the first single was being played here. So other than that, man, like I said, we were just the freshest, and to this day, you know, for you DJs, period, you know, and that's just where it's gonna stand.
1 2 1 2. Yeah. Party people in the house. The For You DJs Master Mix is about ready to turn it up with the ultimate DJ Taz. Cut so fast and there's no one fresher with more pizzazz. The ultimate Party Fresh. I rock the best, and when I'm on the turntables, I do not fast. The ultimate Kid Magic. I'm more than tragic. Cut so fast you think it's magic. The ultimate Top Notch. I never stop. I'm down with the four who always rock.
The For You DJs Ultimate Hip Hop Show. It's fresh, it's live, and it's on CTNT. Monday and Friday nights at 6. The 4 Ultimate DJs kick it live with their own show right here.
That was that
on
commercial.
CTNT.
That was that 4 Ultimate DJs commercial from back in the day. Man, that was a long time ago. But we had a ball. We had a ball as some 4 Ultimate DJs. And then I had to go off to the Army.
Many moons ago, years ago, when I was about 15, 16, I started getting into music, you know, coming out of the church heavily. My mom was a soprano, lead vocalist for my church in Youngstown, Ohio, and I had access to early video equipment, audio equipment, reel-to-reel, opaque projectors, all of that stuff. So I became like the first AV guy in my high school. Being into music, I received an album, Dance to the Music, Sly and the Family Stone. And early in those days, they had in the jacket sleeve little postcards, and what they wanted you to do was fill out the postcard and tell the record company what you thought of the record, and if you would buy another, you know, we'll check off the boxes. So one particular day I filled that out. You know, the postage was already ready to go, just dropped it in the post office box. About 6 weeks later, I received a pack of records in the mail. And more of these things, and I filled them out after listening to each record. More Sly and the Family Stone. This is Epic Records back in the day. That's how I learned how to get free music. And in those days, a lot of folks weren't dealing with albums. The adults had albums, especially the dirty albums like Red Fox and Pigmeat Markham and those guys. I was into albums. My friends were into buying 45s, chucking up 35 cent, 45 cent every week to get the top. I was getting the albums. So that continued on for several years, and I got into the disco business myself. My first business was called the Stellar Disco, and I rented disco lights from the White Boy Lighting Company, who were supplying bands with lights and mirror balls and police beacons and all that stuff. We had all of that stuff. As a matter of fact, watching a documentary on Studio 54, I realized that I had the same lights that Studio 54 had, and this is back in '72. So I've always been on the cutting edge. We had flash pots with our disco. Unheard of in the brothers sector. You know, the white boys were doing that. So we were just doing stuff way ahead of time. I matriculated in the radio business from Youngstown to Pittsburgh, got into marketing promotion, got into concert promotion, started MCing concerts, and I met everybody from Stevie Wonder to Rick James and started hanging out with these guys back when I was 22, 24 years old. Came back to Youngstown, had a son, made me a man. Working with a band, the band wasn't doing very well, and I decided to leave Youngstown, long story short. So I got up middle of the night in March, 3 o'clock, got on the road in a blizzard snowstorm. Took me 2.5 hours or so to get from Youngstown to Akron, Ohio. It was that bad. I had to drive like 45 miles an hour. By the time I got to Mansfield, it was 42 degrees, sunshine, bright, shiny skies. I took that as a good omen that I had made the right choice. This was 1984. Came to Columbus, Ohio, hooked up with a friend of mine, and he said, "Man, what you gonna do?" And I said, "Well, I'm gonna look for a radio job or something like that." And he told me about WVKO, and I tried to get to VKO, but I didn't know anybody at the time. So he said, "Man, you know what? There's a radio station that's on TV." I was like, "Get the out of here." A radio station on TV. Took me to the pad, turned on the TV, tuned in to the station called CTNT. I was like, "What the heck is going on?" He said, "It's a radio station over in Mount Vernon Plaza, CTNT, and it's cable radio, and it's on television." Well, it was on television because it was coming through the cable system that he had, that, folks get cable in the house. And the radio station was there, and he was able to pick it up because most folks don't realize that radio, if a signal is coming through, the audio is actually FM, and it's on the lower end of the band down below 88. So when you tune it in on the TV, it comes through. So I hooked up with another friend, female. She took me over to Mount Vernon Plaza, took me to lunch at the Marble Gang at the time, and talking with some people, they said, "There's a radio station in the back." I said, "In the back?" And they said, "Yeah, in the focal point. This is Mount Vernon Plaza, and they call it the focal point. And in the back, there's this radio station called CTNT." I was like, "I just heard about that. Can you take me back there?" Went back there, and I met this guy named Frank Kelly. His real name was Keith. And he asked me who I was, where I was from, what I did, and I basically gave my resume orally. I didn't have a resume to handy. So I said, I'm in marketing promotions, and I, did concerts and stuff in Pittsburgh at WAMO, and that sparked his mind. He said, "WAMO FM?" I said, "Yeah, whammo." And he said, "My God, you've been on the air." I said, "Yeah, I was a Midnight Man." He said, "You want a job?" I said, "Of course." I didn't know I wasn't going to get paid. And of course, I worked out a way to get money, of course, but when I checked out what they were doing, it was cutting edge. Cable radio, unheard of back in those days. There was no Music Choice, there was no Sirius, there was no XFM, there was nothing like that except terrestrial or land-based broadcast, which was mostly commercial broadcast. There were a few educational stations like WOSU FM, but no one was doing cable, to my knowledge. Upon more research, I found out that CTNT was one of maybe 10, 12 cable stations in the country. One big one was in Omaha, Nebraska. Another big one was in Flint, Michigan. The station in Omaha was kind of making some noise because they showed up in the Arbitron ratings, which CTNT eventually did because of the way we were programming the station as I matriculated forward as the program director of the station. So once I got in and was able to, figure out what was going on in the city, having been there 3 months, and I found out that if I utilized young talent, if I utilized the youth who are always on the cutting edge, I could proliferate this into something that was real. So I began to reach out to the public school system, thinking that they had kids in a broadcast training program. There was nothing. There was nothing going on. So I eventually found youth through the school system at Fort Hays. Now it's the Fort Hays Metropolitan Education Center here in Columbus, and another school that they called CAUSE, Columbus Alternative High School. And they sent me some young men and some young women that were interested in broadcasting. We held a contest on the air because everybody was into mixing and trying to be a DJ back in those days, and they were beginning to rap even more and more and more. Gangster rap was just in the embryo stage. So we have this contest for them to do mixes, send in the cassettes. We'd play the cassettes on the air, and folks could, give a thumbs up, thumbs down, and we widened the pool, got the pool down to like 5 or 6 different tapes. And we had a couple, 3 that were really, really promising. One was really, really good, but it wasn't clean. But the mixes were as tight as you want to be. So we reached out to the folks who did that first one, and they really couldn't come through for whatever reason. The second place winners, those guys, they were clean. Their mixes were tight, but they were clean, fresh, excellent sound. Those kids were the ones that went on to be the big winners, and we gave them their own radio show. Now, all of this was happening over in the Mount Vernon Plaza, but you have to understand that cable radio was so new, terrestrial radio or commercial radio was still doing pretty good. There was 92X on the FM side back in those days, early days of WCOL, early days of WNCI, and they had one of the clearest signals because their signal was on top of Nationwide, where Nationwide headquarters are, with the antenna tower over there, or downtown actually. So once we started working with these young people, we gave them full autonomy to express themselves on the air. So we had the All the Way Live music lines. We had live mixing coming from Studio B, which was the production room. We called it Studio B. Now we had 3 turntables in the main control room and 2 turntables mixer in the back where we did our commercials. So they would mix live from the production room, Studio B, and we run it out through the board in the main into the broadcast universe on the air for everybody to hear. We also had, I guess, what you could call special programming. The All the Way Live music lines. Back in the day, we didn't have a phone trunk, so we just wired a telephone output into the board, opened up the channel, and so when people were on the phone, we pick up the phone and we talk to them while the kids were in Studio B mixing live. We had kids on the line, on the phone line, rapping over the air to the music coming from Studio B. That became one of the hottest shows ever because they were able to express themselves, and we didn't have to worry about anybody cursing or anything like that because there was no 5-second, 10-second delay. This was live on the air every afternoon after school. So kids would literally run home from school, turn on CTNT to hear the All the Way Live music lines. And of course, in between, be cutting, scratching, mixing, and the youth would be doing their thing. We even had a news department. The kids that wanted to do news, they did news. It might have been what we call hip-hop news or social media news now, but back then, they were doing what they would normally do if they were at a commercial radio station getting paid. It was more than an internship. It was more than hands-on. They were actually creating their own content. And that is unheard of today.
Hi, I'm Kevin Flemister Towns, better known as Kevin Towns, the man about town. Was on air at 16 WVKO, also Z103, and also Power 107.5, the man about town, overnight, and was part of the Power Morning crew. Now, I got my start actually at CTNT. And that's where I met DJ Cass because he was part of the 4 Ultimate DJs. I did the midday show, which meant that my show was starting before theirs at 4 o'clock. Now, give you a little bit of the popularity of their show, which they did the hip hop show at 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock, kids would be out of school. CTNT was a cable radio station. Not a traditional radio station, but cable radio station, which meant you had to listen to the radio station from your cable link, from your TV, plug it in the back of your home stereo system, and that's how you got CTNT cable radio. But kids who knew about it, they knew 3 o'clock they was going to call in and try to get the request in, like, yo, I want to hear a certain song for the 4 Ultimate DJs. Hook me up. Well, they come on at 4 o'clock. Hook me up. And exactly that was the most popular hip hop show, in fact, before anything here in the capital city of Columbus, Ohio. The 4 Ultimate DJs really set the pace of what is happening now. Give you a little link about CTNT. If you can think about internet radio, cable radio station, CTNT was the start. That's the birthplace of what internet radio is about. So you could figure it is citywide, but it was also worldwide because it was cable radio. But the 4 Ultimate DJs, they really set the pace. Think of Mixmaster J, Mixmaster Ice. These brothers held down the platform. So definitely. Now BDS, they definitely held it down. In fact, DJ Kaz, tell you a little bit story about that. I also had worked in retail. I had worked at a music store, which was called Waves Music Store. Now, a little of y'all like, what the heck is that? It's a record store. Some of y'all knows about cassette tapes, CD players, and things of that nature. It was a record store, City Center Mall. DJ Kaz just happened to see me working there at the mall, at the record store, and he was like, yo, Kev, how can I get my product sold here in the store? So I told him exactly the way to do it, and that's history, as they say. That's history. But BDS, definitely one of the best production company and setting the pace for the hip hop scene, definitely.
The 4 Ultimate DJs was made up of DJ Kid Magic, DJ Pony Fresh, DJ Top Notch, and myself, DJ Kaz. While we were putting together the group, I guess they entered a contest, and for some reason we got picked to do our own radio show. While we were putting together the group, I was still working with the Funky Fresh crew. We were shopping for, our demo. We was trying to get signed as a group. While working with the 4 Ultimate DJs and the Funky Fresh crew, I started taking trips to New York. Remember I said I was shopping the Funky Fresh crew demo, and while I was going to New York, I was picking up hip hop records that we were not getting in Columbus. We were not getting the hip hop records. We would go to 42nd and Broadway and go into record stores, and they would have turntables set up, and you can go in there and you can listen to the record before you bought it. Most of the time I went and I started paying attention to labels. I started paying attention to, obviously, Profile, which Run DMC was on. I started paying attention to Tommy Boy. On one of the trips, I went with DJ Pony Fresh, and we were trying to, at the same time while I was shopping the Funky Fresh crew demo tape, we were trying to get on with B-Boy Records. And with B-Boy Records, a guy by the name of Bill Kamara owned that record label. And that's right when Boogie Down Productions put out their first album at that time. And I think they were also working with the Ultramagnetic MCs on some projects, on their first project. But at any rate, while we were shopping the Funky Fresh crew demo, we were told that we would be the street team in Columbus, Ohio, which, after I've learned the business, all these years I've been in it, that's one way to get free promotion is a group that's trying to get signed, have them do your street team promotions in the city where they were at. Well, it never turned out with B-Boy Records. We didn't get signed. We continued to do a lot of their promotions, at the time. So we got heavily involved with a lot of the groups that were coming out at that time, doing the promotions for all of them in Columbus. So myself and DJ Ponyfresh, we continued trips to New York to pick up records and to also, obviously get new releases from B-Boy Records and to promote those. So we started playing. We won that contest and we got our own radio show. So we started playing the hip hop records that we bought in New York on our radio show. So if you actually look at the history of hip hop in Ohio, we were the godfathers of hip hop in Columbus, Ohio. Now there were some other DJ groups that were doing parties and they were real big. I think a neighbor of mine that also lived in Southfield, I think Chapter 1, Jam-A-Lot, Knights of the Turntables. There were some other DJ crews that was out there and they were doing big parties. But with us being on the radio, and at that time, we only had an AM radio station. We didn't have no FM radio station. So when CTNT came in the mix, that's when hip hop started hitting the airways that everybody in Columbus could listen to. And it's true, myself and DJ Ponyfresh brought back hip hop records from New York. Eventually, we ended up getting New York Spotlight and Sound Record Store, but that was years later after we started bringing back hip hop. So I know DJ Kid Magic and Ponyfresh, a lot of times, they recognized that we were the first to play hip hop on the radio, but sometimes I don't think they want to give us the credit of being the godfathers of hip hop in Columbus, Ohio. And for me to know the music business and how things get started, one thing with me is to try to preserve history. And we need to preserve our hip hop history in Ohio and in Columbus. So DJ Ponyfresh, Kid Magic, Top Notch, definitely thanks for giving me the opportunity to rock with the 4 Ultimate DJs on the radio. We had a blast. While we were on the radio, we became one of the hottest sought after DJ crews in the city. So a lot of the weekends, we were double and triple booked as the 4 Ultimate DJs. All the high schools wanted us to DJ all their high school parties. So sometimes we would have to break up. Sometimes it would be me and Kid Magic. Sometimes it would be me and Ponyfresh. Sometimes it would be me by myself. And then, of course, whenever it was ever me by myself, I would always get my cousin, Blake Flawless, to come around with me. And that's how he got in to hip hop and DJing. I would take him to my gigs with me. Also, Marcel Boyce from the Funky Fresh crew, he would be my MC most of the times at these parties and on the radio. Like I think we played our 4 Ultimate DJs radio commercial earlier, or maybe we're gonna play it later. But Marcel is the one that's also in that radio commercial with us. So me, Marcel, and Donnie with the Funky Fresh crew, we made a lot of good music. We shopped it. We didn't get a chance to really finish that out because Marcel, he ended up going to the Marines before we was able to finish or even try to get a deal with that. So Marcel went to the Marines. I kept DJing with the 4 Ultimate DJs. We kept doing parties. One of the parties that we were doing as the 4 Ultimate DJs was the Fresh Fest. It was the Fresh Fest concert that came to Columbus, Ohio, I want to say 1984, 1985, around in that time frame. I think Run DMC was on there. At any rate, one of the we did the after party for the Fresh Fest as the 4 Ultimate DJs, and one of the Fresh Fest after parties, I was the only one on stage playing music at the time. my cousin Blake Flawless was with me, and I was being called to the front for some kind of reason. I don't remember why. But when I was getting off of the turntables, Biz Markie walked up to me and said, could he get on my turntables? And at that time, I had only heard Biz Markie rap. I didn't know that he DJ'd. And I don't think at that time, I don't think he DJ'd either. Because he was Biz Markie and the crowd was amping me on to let him get on the tables, I let him get on, and I started walking up to the front. And Biz Markie, God rest his soul, I'm not, want to talk about anybody, he's not here anymore. But I think he was just now starting to DJ. And so, we were entertained by Biz Markie after one of the Fresh Fest after parties. And I can't remember if it was 1984 or 1985. It was one of those years. Maybe even 1986. But we definitely had great parties as the Four Ultimate DJs. DJ Pony Fresh met his wife at one of our parties. We used to do big parties. We used to do neighborhood parties. We used to do basement parties. Wherever you needed a DJ, we were there. And I was working as a DJ every weekend doing a party somewhere with the Four Ultimate DJs.
Hey, what's happening? I'm Antonio Martin, a.k.a. that nigga Chuck, a.k.a. Mr. Real. It's my homeboy.
I'm Blake Flawless. I know y'all ain't seen me in a long time. It is what it is. I'm low key. That's how it is, but I'm here. I'm still here. I'm gonna stay here. So how you love it, that's how you get it. So that's what it is.
No doubt. So Blake here because the way it began with me, with this hip hop stuff, with this Big Daddy sound, was with this man right here. He the DJ, I'm the rapper.
Yeah. And right here, this is the territory where we came up. We grew up.
Right here, baby.
We grew up together. We learned from each other, and we mastered our craft at this point. You know what I mean? Like, we just showed love, and that's just what it is,
I'm gonna say, what is it? 87?
Yes.
87?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get out of school, right? It's middle school. Run home. Get on the radio. You used to have to take your cable.
Mm-hmm.
It was cable wire, right?
Mm-hmm.
This channel we had in Columbus called CTNT. You get on the radio, they play nothing but hip hop. These cats will go like all the way to New York, bring records back, and break records here. We hearing music ain't nobody ever heard before.
Yeah, you're right.
You had albums.
There was promos. There was promos.
That's what it was.
And Cadillac, he introduced us to it. He was the one plugged into CTNT. And he was like, hey, we can do this. We can get in there. And that's what he did. He put us on.
So the people don't really know. When he say Cadillac, he talking about DJ Kaz.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That's the leader of Big Daddy Sound, you know. But I'm just giving you the history on it of how this really went down back in Columbus, because people don't know about Columbus, Ohio, and our radio stations and stuff. We only had one channel. We had WVKO for black people.
Mm-hmm.
So when CTNT came, it was like, hip hop? Oh my. New York? Oh my. It was brand new to us. But the rap stuff, I was good at it, I won a talent show when I was in like 7th grade, signed some autographs. But like, run home, get on the radio, you could call in, and Kaz and them would play a beat, and you could hear yourself on the radio.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to tell you, you don't understand the 80s. You had to be there to believe it.
Yeah. It was solid. It was very solid. He put a lot of people on when he didn't have to, you know what I mean? But he had faith in us, and he was like, I know y'all got skills, so let's make it happen. So we ran with it. So
yeah. Hey, okay. Before we even got our little shot in it, Kaz he came back from the military.
Yeah.
That's when I really found out it was DJ Kaz. Okay, that's his cousin. So let's just simplify it like that. Once I put 2 and 2 together, the dude on the radio was bro's cousin. You know, it was like it was destiny for a brother like me to be on Big Daddy Sound.
Yeah.
You know.
It linked together real well. It really
well.
did.
Yeah.
Real well.
Yeah.
And Kaz, he's my man. He showed me everything I know about the music industry, and without him, I mean, there's so many things he's taught me in this life, but hip hop was probably the best one that I can take with me. You know what I mean? And say, yeah, I appreciate that. So,
I mean, you being modest. This is probably the hottest DJ I ever known in my life. This is my DJ, and I ain't just trying to be like, you know, all on this jock and stuff. But nah, dude is a beast. Y'all heard his name, Blake Flawless. You know why we call him Flawless? Because he would spend hours. I mean, hours. You go down to the house, Mom, where he at? He in the room. Yeah, he's leaning on the wall, scratching, perfecting whatever it was. This dude, he was playing records backwards before most of you cats was ever playing records backwards because he take the... So I can tell them the secret now.
yeah, because they knew it. You take a spray can bottle,
Okay.
take the lid off, put a straw through it,
Yeah.
and you put it on the record backwards, and then turn the needle off the MK 1200s. You put the needle upside down, and you spin it backwards. So you have a sample that's going backwards, and it's like you never knew it. You know, it's like
Genius.
Those were the good old days.
The
man.
80s, baby.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Hey, to my kids, I know you heard about it. We telling y'all this the truth. The 80s
Yeah,
was real.
yeah.
You know, we was them peoples in the 80s.
Yeah, and we had good times, and there's so much stuff that we went through.
The parties.
The parties.
When the Big Daddy Sound, okay. So Big Daddy Sound, at first it was a DJ company, because we was doing parties. I will help you all with the speakers and stuff, because actually...
Well, you're thinking about the 4 Ultimate DJs.
I'm talking about, well, that too.
Yeah.
But when he was Big Daddy Sound, because of the speakers. Wasn't Big Daddy Sound really when he first built the big speakers?
Yeah, he did. He created his own stuff. but where he started was the 4 Ultimate DJs.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's where he got, where he was like, man, we can do this.
Yeah.
So, and we had Pony Fresh, all these guys coming in, and you know, it's a long list of people that I can name, and enjoy the past. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy what they taught me, because when I was growing up with Greg, and he was like, man, you got what it takes.
Yeah.
And they knew it too. They were like, damn, this dude is dope. And Kaz was like, watch, he gonna be something. And I rolled with it, but I fell off. You know, I mean, it's cool. You know.
But I mean, DJing wise, but once you started production, see.
Yeah.
You know, I know you the dopest producer ever, because, like I said, he was my DJ first, so I got the luxury of getting one of the first tracks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah. Just the start of it, just so y'all know, it all started right here.
We're in key place, man.
And if y'all knew what was going on these streets right here, you'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, y'all been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you don't really understand, when we keep talking about this Faber, key place, this Southfield.
Yeah.
You know, it's in Columbus, Ohio, but this the south side of Columbus.
Yeah.
This the field, baby.
Yeah.
When you hear these cats talking about this real in the field, they got that from me.
Yeah.
I was the first cat talking about being real, talking about I'm from the field. Yeah.
And I produced the track.
And he produced the track. Them cats swag they ain't like us.
Yeah.
Real talk. Columbus, Ohio, baby. We in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
We do this.
What's happening? DJ Apache, Columbus, Ohio, Southfield. Here with my boy Kaz, Mr. Real. We about to tell y'all what's happening from way back. Crush used to come over, we called him DJ Crush. His name Brian. He used to come over and get on the record player with the volume knob and the record, and we used to just be scratching on it all day, all night. Then it evolved from there to making music, listening to all kind of music, sampling this and that and that and this, and got into it, started rapping. He was rapping, I was rapping. Then my dude Mac, he used to come over with us. He was the MC. He was just rapping all night with us while we was making beats for him. And my dude Kaz, he came into the picture. I used to go over there with my brother. They was already family, Mac and Kaz. So you already know it was on. And it took off from there. He DJing, I'm DJing. And you know, everybody was just doing their things, and next thing I know, he went off to the military. Then I just went on ahead and like said, fuck everything. Just took this motherfucker over, DJ Apache style, got into a battle with the whole city, and I said, fuck it, I wasn't losing. Bring that belt back to Southfield, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing I know, after that, Kaz got back, started a record label, Big Daddy Sounds. We hooked back up, and you know, the rest is history. And me and Sandman was together then, and we was already making music. He went by a couple other names and shit, and then you know, me and Kaz, we hooked up. I introduced, well, they already knew, you know, Nick Sandman was, but we got together, you know, on this record label, and the rest is history. Went on Midwest tours, Atlanta, New Orleans, Omaha, Nebraska. You know, they wouldn't let us perform because they said our shit was a little bit too vulgar, had too much shit in it, I guess. And other than that, it went down. It's the real deal. And now it's coming back. Boom.
And like in 1994, we had seen this movie. It was called The Wraith. Charlie Sheen was he the star?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before Charlie Sheen came in it was another guy playing the guy that Charlie Sheen was going to play as the Wraith coming in after the guy, because the guy ended up getting his girlfriend. No, his girlfriend got took, right?
Yeah.
By a dude named Packer or something.
Yeah, Packer loved his girl so much. Yeah,
took his girl and killed him.
And just killed him. That's the
Him and his
ultimate
boys killed him.
betrayal and shit.
So dude came back as the Wraith. He was reincarnated as the Wraith, and Charlie Sheen was the one playing the Wraith. And he came in a nice ass whip. What kind of whip was
Dodge Intrepid or something. It was a show car, but it never came out.
It was raw.
But it was hard as hell. It had a heartbeat in the back of it, like a post.
It was like it was a living creature.
Yeah.
So-
and they
was
would
race
race
car
through the
drivers.
mountains. They would
Yeah.
race through the mountains. But with the coolest shit about it, he'd go by you so fast
Mm-hmm.
and turn around on your ass, man. Come back and disintegrate your ass when
Yeah.
y'all hit it, man. And you be laid butthole naked in the middle of a highway, man. I thought that was some hard shit. So
Yeah, because
shit
the
was
dudes
like,
was
we gonna
race
go
car
with the
drivers.
race and
The
shit.
dudes was race car about a song called Born Killers. And we wanted to make it better than the NWA style of Born Killer. So, and we wanted to be more militant with it. And then that's when we met DJ Kaz on it.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Kaz, represent.
Yeah.
And Dream Keepers.
Yeah.
And Dream Keepers place was more about a dark dream that we both was in at the same time. Like, how can we both be in the same dream and really seem like we're alive in it together?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we called the race, me and him. And Cap City came along. We was calling him Tank back then.
Yeah, because I moved to Arizona. You know what I'm saying? I moved out there, and Tank knew a lot of my stuff. So it worked for him, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because I would tell
He felt like
Kaz.
he was getting too old to rap. That's what people.
That's what
he
was.
felt
That
like he
was
too old to rap.
Yeah, I would.
He was
And
like,
I
I'm about
would.
to back out. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to back out. I was like, damn.
And I
I'm
would
out here by
ease out.
myself.
I try to
So
ease
Tank
out,
was
but
like, shit, I got you, bro. I said, where?
keep me in there,
And then
man.
Tank was writing his own stuff too, and that's when we and him started forming and doing our other stuff together. And we came out with Hell Ride.
Oh yeah, that was more like, and that's what I said. I'm not one to go out and talk about no fucking motherfuckers up and all that, man. Because shit, a lot of cats we hang with, they all in the game, so you can't. I don't know how niggas even do that, man. That's snitching, really dry snitching. So I rap on like something biblical, like I like rapping about,
spiritual stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? About the end of the world and the Lord coming back to, So I rap on things of that nature. And my mom was like, oh, yeah, keep all that profanity. I said, so I rap like the coming to keep the profanity out my mouth when we perform. So a lot of our raps, if you listen to it, we don't curse a lot, And you might hear one or two, but we don't use a lot of profanity and shit. We decided to do that early in our careers. So it's just, man, about keeping it real, man, and not pushing the wrong message to the youth or somebody else. Like dude said, oh, you make me want to. Nah, that ain't the message that Ship spit when he spit. If you listen to him, man, he's a completely spiritual man. You know what I'm saying? So he's a Rafe God. You know what I'm saying? Because he goes in before he releases something out of his mouth. Believe me, this nigga didn't search he goes and searches it. Even the Rafe, I said, well, what the hell does the Rafe mean? He said, it means the spirit or that avenges death. If he's and I said, oh shit, I didn't know that. But he's a book man, and he's a well-read brother right here, man. But just about, man, keeping it positive, not getting nobody in no kind of harm, man. We ain't out here to get nobody hurt, you know what I'm saying? This ain't even that type of,
good music.
Good music, entertainment, man. My person. So when Cap came in, here he is right here. Come on in, Cap. Oh, shit. I know y'all don't know nothing. I know y'all have told long story about nothing, man.
That Rafe right here,
What's up, baby?
Hey, man, what's up with it, man? I'm going to tell y'all something. We started, my brother got the anniversary 30 years. 30 years, man.
Yeah, boy.
Me and Battle and Scoob, we would leave each other tapes every day. DJ, I think his name was Magic Mike. He had that beat. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom. You remember that? You know what I'm saying? That was man. So Scoob would go to work. We would get home from school. It'd be a little note and it'd say, "Listen to this." And
oh
Scoob
yeah.
Would be,
remember that.
I mean, all about that. I told you, take everything.
So like, we just did that a lot. Right. Then I went back to school, and when I went to school, man, that first Rape tape was about to come out. And when I went back and I had the Born Killer song somehow, and everybody at the school like, damn, that's hard. I'm like, yeah, that's my rap partners. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't officially in the group yet.
Missing a sip to let us not start hanging. Break 'em off some. Niggas ain't nothing. They know I'm the nigga that be rapping in the top. And motherfuckers up. Down on the block. Roll on my cats so they give up they rocks. Taking all their money and I break out quick. Cause I'm a nigga slick. Gripping on my fat dick. Jump in my caddy and I'm headed for home. Call my niggas through lover on the sailor bone. Call my nigga up. Kicking all the props. He told me that my cousin Huck got shot by the cops. I'll be there in a minute. Grab up the liner. We gon' cut some cops up, drop them down like Rhino. It's about 12 o'clock, hitting on the midnight deck. Rolling down the air with this Livingston on Miller, take a left. Wise advance to take a left on Miller, that's where the cops so the night they be shot by born killers. Living a coffin, cause when it comes to murder, no time to be soft. And I'm particular on the bones that I eat, especially the bones of a white man chick. So do you wanna play cat cage? Cause you can either fall on the sailor, man. It's time to stun the shells in my gauge. And that's the only nigga with the key to my cage. And once he lets me out, automatically rampage.
They was already doing things. They had things moving, and through the help of DJ Kaz, got this thing off the ground.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when I come out of school, I'm singing now. Yeah, I was a singer. I used to sing to girls on the phone. And man, one day Scoob was like, I'm writing a hook, coming Battle writing a flow. I'm writing this hook and I start singing it. It's hard.
Yeah.
Scoob was like, man, what the fuck? Excuse my language. But you know, we race. We're a little grimy.
You already know.
He said, my brother ain't about to be no bitch-ass singing-ass nigga up here tooting his ass on stage.
I did. But he sang good. That's what I'm like, we race, nigga.
But to his
dismay,
right? He did tell me just recently that he feel bad because I might have made a great singer, you know. But anyway, let's get to it. So I come home, the race is going. They about to do their first show with Willie D. Me and my clique, you know, I was running with my GD cats. So we all bought tickets and came to the show. It was downtown and everything. We was having a good time. Willie D didn't want to open for the race, and no disrespect, Mr. Willie. You a good dude. I see what you do in your community. That's a blessing. He said, I'm not opening for these niggas. I ain't even got nothing going on.
Oh, nigga didn't like,
No, he didn't want to open. He didn't want to open.
Right.
So somebody had to do it. So how I had been talking to Cass for a while. I would come to the studio, you know, help make a couple little tracks or whatever, or just be around.
Right.
And he was like, hey, you ready? I said, yep, put a beat on. And I did Visions of a Psychopath, which was one of my first raps, you know what I'm saying? Because the race style just kind of evolved with us. I don't know if it was something that was all in us, because from the beginning we was talking about eating bloody guts and drinking blood and eating bitches and just all that shit, like off top. There was no cute shit about this from the top.
That's gotta be playing. Can we hear?
Throwing them things. Born killers.
Yeah.
Out slinging things. Yeah. Let God's bell ring. Go blow the devil's horn. He's coming like Malachi from I remember everything.
And that's what Chip was saying earlier about there's two sides. It's God or it's the devil, man. And that's why he rap, man. That's
how I came after doing that show, I seen the vision. I think Cass seen something in me. I hadn't reached my evolution yet. I was still tricking off bitches and all this little weird shit, not really thinking about working. It all became music for me for a while.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For a while, until there was expectations and there was things I had to do to be a part of that. So when my brother went to Arizona, we was still working on the coming, the whole for a while.
Right.
Like I was just around, you know, checking with at the studio with Kaz and everybody, you know what I'm saying? I put a couple little riffs up in there on the keys.
Kaz knew it because he would say, hey man, Tank was over here. Tank was over here.
Tank style got doper and doper.
Yeah, that's what Kaz said.
Tank style got ridiculous.
Yeah, you did, man.
He started just really freaking it. Every time he come to the studio, he was different, man. I was like, dang.
He was into that drumming, that rudiment shit. You know, he liked drumming and music.
Still growing, even to this day.
Really good with that shit, man.
I say
his elevation was super high.
When people believe in you, I feel like at my low, I was young. So when the people you around believe in you, we had a whole crew. Every single show, our whole family was there, dog. And you got somebody, Kaz met me through y'all to believe in me enough to nurture my shit. And I don't mean to be funny, every Sunday doing that performances and all that, rehearsing for shows.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize how much work. So, you know, once all that happened, Kaz came with the vision of what he wanted to do. He brought it to us. He probably already knew. When he came with that Big Daddy Sound vision, I was a little, you know, I'm like, okay, with a whole bunch of different people. Now I'm like, you know, I'm a loner. So I got my family, but I'm a introvert. But for some reason, I'm always on the front line. But I still be on the inside. So when Kaz brought that idea and I started watching all these different people coming together and us doing all these different things, like, you know, one day Kaz took me, we went to a tank. It was a tank he found. He was like, hey, I want to take you somewhere.
It's like there's a tank. I want to take your picture.
Oh,
there.
hell.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that made me start investing into my shit. Like this CCN stuff, this was a
Yeah,
vision
so creative.
because Kaz had a vision. Hey, let's do t-shirts. Hey, let's do this.
My name is Brian Bowles of B-Star Records. And just to tell you a little bit about my backstory is how I got started in the music is my uncle was a DJ back in the 70s. His name was DJ Tricky Ricky. And I used to carry his records and his equipment and then set up for him at his gigs. Then later on, I developed, a basketball. I was into basketball. Got into basketball, ran into Kid Magic. I started talking trash to him, like, he came into this record center driving park with a boombox blasting one of his mixes, and I told him, I said, hey, I can outmix you. Frankly, I ain't know shit about mixing. But, I was just intrigued. And then me and him started hanging out, and then he introduced me to the 4 Ultimate DJs, which was DJ Kaz, Magic, Top Notch, and Pony, and DJ Kaz, of course. And I was their push button guy when they mixes in Dana's mom's house in the basement. So that's how I got in with them. And from that point, during their sets, whenever they DJ'd, I would roll with them and I would set up their equipment for them. I was the equipment boy. I had to start from the bottom to work my way up, which was cool because I learned a lot. And then on top of that, we started doing a radio show. And I got in on that with DJ Kid Magic. And then me and him partnered up and started doing a lot of DJ things together when everybody, the 4U DJs, they were still a group, but everybody was doing their own thing at that time. And but Magic still was doing it, and I was doing it with him. Then moving forward, I started my own record label. Me and Kaz, DJ Kaz hooked up, and we put out the group called The Rapes. And that's how, everything came and unfold with us. Is he's always been my brother. We'll always be brothers, We just had good times. It was just good times. Just good times. Our first show was at Larry Zeke's. It was called Ashley's. I'd have video footage, and hopefully later on I'll find that tape and I'll send a copy of it to Greg. So maybe before this come out, he can integrate some of that footage into this. But it was fun. We had fun. Then, of course, unfortunately, I was having some problems. Didn't know how to be a man to tell my partner, DJ Kaz, the problems I was having. And we kind of went our separate ways. And that's started off Big Daddy Sounds. And Big Daddy Sounds was a beautiful thing. I still got the t-shirt. Too big to wear it, but I still got it. You feel me? But other than that, it's nothing but love. Nothing but love. And I appreciate him doing this because now y'all can see and understand where Columbus, Ohio's history of DJing in the music scene came from. It really started from us. And not just us, there was other DJ factions out there too that was doing the same thing. But mainly, we was killing it. We was killing it. The biggest show that we ever did was the Sheraton. Nothing topped that. But other than that, that's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love to my brother Greg. B-Style out.
We were DJing and having a great time as the 4 Ultimate DJs. But since I was partying every night on the weekend, my pops came to me and he said, son, I think you need to maybe look at a career in the military. He said, Marcel joined, maybe you could go in the military with Marcel. So around that time, I decided to join the Army. After spending 4 long years in the Army. I came out in 1992. After I came out of the Army in 1992, I formed a loose version of Big Daddy Sound. And when I say a loose version, is because I really didn't do the paperwork yet. And then all I wanted to do was have Big Daddy Sound, the mobile DJ unit. I started getting into some music production while I was stationed in Germany in the Army. So I was going to do some music production when I got out of the military. So I started Big Daddy Sound, mobile DJs, music production. And then because I was DJing for so long and I kept blowing speakers, store-bought speakers, I decided to learn how to build my own speakers. So I learned how to build my own speakers. And so when I say I started Big Daddy Sound loosely, at that time, there was no paperwork involved, and it was only going to be Big Daddy Sound, mobile DJs, music production, and custom speaker building. So as a music producer, my first group was the Wraiths. And I got with B-Style Records. B-Style was one of the friends that used to always be with the 4 Ultimate DJs. When we were down in Kid Magic's basement making our mixtapes, B-Style was there all the time. So when I decided to do music production, and I told B-Style, he said he was going to start a record label. So I was like, cool. Because I don't want to have nothing to do with business, right? I'm just now getting out of the Army. And I'm starting music production, mobile DJing, and I'm building speakers. And I didn't want to get into any of the business side. So he said he was going to take care of that. So we go in the studio, we do the songs for the Wraiths. It's time to get the tapes made, because at that time we were doing cassettes. I had to come in and get the cassettes made. And even though the cassettes were still, because we had started production, we're still under B-Style Records. I said I was going to start a record label. So at that time, I went to the attorneys and I started Big Daddy Sound Corporation with music production, mobile DJs, custom speaker building, a record label, and then on top of that, because I had been studying the music business, we went ahead and started a music publishing company. So Big Daddy Sound was made into an S corporation where you can buy stock. Big Daddy Sound is a corporation. One of the things we also had to do is we had to purchase a barcode so that we can sell products. So of course we registered with the city so that we can sell anything, merchandise in Columbus, Ohio. But then we also had the barcode so that when we sold stuff through the record stores, we got our sound scans, right? Which was another part of the business. So I used to always hear other people talk about, oh, I have a record label. You know, I know many of you heard your friends and family members, everybody got a record label. Well, the difference between all of those people that say they have a record label and Big Daddy Sound is that I did the paperwork. Big Daddy Sound is a corporation. We still own our barcode. We can still put out whatever product we want to put out. And that was the key to me. Even though I had said I didn't want to have nothing to do with business, I ended up starting one of the most structured businesses that you can start with Big Daddy Sound Corporation. Now with Big Daddy Sound Corporation, obviously with this, we have leaned into BDS music and film, where we're going to start doing movies, and like you're watching this documentary. All under the Big Daddy Sound Corporation umbrella.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Michael Davis, better known as either Mike D or the DM. My story with Big Daddy Sound started a few years back, probably around 1994 to 1995. We had a mutual, well, I should say it, my in-law was his neighbor. I came over for some speakers. I heard he made the nicest speakers, and they used to pound all the time. So I needed some monitors as I was starting studio work. And we got over there, we started talking. He told me about an album that he was about to do called It's in My Nature. So that's how it really started. It's in my nature. I got to play on a part, my keyboards and things like that. So we just went from there. Throughout the years, we've done a lot. I was VP of AR for Big Daddy Sound. And also one of the things that I learned was working with the artist. One of the things that I took to heart is trying to figure out what the artist wanted and things of that nature. And then also working with Kaz behind the scenes. We're both business minded. So one of the things that we like to do is like, hey, we need to do a write-up here, we need to do this, we need to do that. So a lot of things that we were doing back in the day, we didn't see a lot of people doing. We were having things like flyers, put out our own little newsletter, and we were getting definitely published in the local newspapers. So we had a lot of things going that a lot of people didn't know about. And of course, before music distribution, you had to take your CDs in to get them consigned. So we worked with a lot of artists, a lot of record companies here, or I should say record stores or CD stores here, and we're able to get our CDs consigned, and it was a good experience because you learn about distribution, you learn the whole 9 yards. So I was able to take a lot of that wealth of knowledge and just keep going with them. And we've had a variety of shows. I mean, shows go good, some shows go bad, but one of the things that always goes about it, and one of the things that Kaz always says is that even though the show may come back a little negative, you still got some publicity. And that helped us along the way, especially with a lot of the artists that you will hear about when we talk about our story a little bit later in some of these other, I should say, a lot of these different media things that we're going to put out here for this video. So, but definitely, I want to talk about one thing about DJ Kaz. He listens, and he's very knowledgeable about the game. I mean, even through him, I was able to do a lot when it came to even my own, I should say, production company. I was able to start a production company through working with Kaz. And one of the things I did was had a pleasure working with artists such as Brooke, D. Rich, as you're probably going to hear from him or whatever, but we were able to put together some different things and put it out. So I learned all that through Kaz. So a lot of people can't say, hey, there's no mentors in Columbus, Ohio, or wherever you're from. This dude really knows what he's doing. He helps you out. And I had another chance to work with him along the lines, because we've always kept in contact. But one of the things that I liked when we try to get everybody together at one period of time to do a compilation, and we ended up doing a compilation, and one of the things it was called Urban Elements 2. So one of the things I had 2 tracks that I wanted to really put out there. So we were able to get that through an artist that I had in Dayton named Jice, and of course Mr. Real, and at that time Deep Sea. So we had a great time. We had a great following. I know we had 10 promotional copies that we could do ourselves. I went to Dayton and with another artist, and we got rid of those 10 really quick. So, and we were able to put some of those CDs out there also. But one of the things that I want to say, we're still going. So, and it's good seeing people because we still have a lot of great ideas. We might get a little bit older, a little grayish and things like that. But one of the things I want to just keep plugging in, man, we made some noise back in the day. And I want everybody to know that if you really look at it, we were doing it better than everybody else.
Hey everybody, I'm Todd Sparks, Maestro, aka Maestro. I met Kaz back in high school, and then later on, years down the line, he was in the studio working with my partner, and I walked in. I'm like, yeah, I know Kaz. He's in there working with a bunch of rappers and stuff, and I'm like, man, you doing like recording now? And so that's pretty much that was pretty much the start of it. And then from then I started working with him. I would come to his crib and we work on beats and stuff there and go back to the studio and finalize things. And so yeah, I would run sound for the shows. Like it was just a bunch of different things. So yeah, I think you know, it's been fun working with these cats over the years, and seeing how everything developed over time, and you know that they're still doing stuff. I think that's a real good thing. Like sharing the stories of how it all came together, and the growth, seeing the growth. I've grown, they've grown, we've all grown. It's just, yeah. So it's good working with Big Daddy Sound. Like the growth, the process. You know, being a part of the organization. It's been good. Like I'm happy I was a part of it. You know, it was some good times. We had laughs and drinks. Kicking it, all that. It was good. Maestro out.
Let me introduce myself. Mike J was family before BDS.
Family.
A&R.
No, hold on. How we family?
How we family? Shit, we grew up every day together, nigga.
Hey, Bob, in America, I'm gonna tell you like this. My main man, this my brother, this Chief Mac. He was our A&R, he was our manager, he was our
graphics,
video graphics. See, I forgot. You made the first T-shirt.
T-shirts, first fucking. Oh, drew it, hand drew it. Oh, forgot.
No, not the first T-shirt. You made the second logo.
I hand drew the logo. Second sure did, cause the first one, first one was my man Kaz in between the speakers. Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Been family before family.
Yeah. Oh,
yes, sir.
Right.
I remember when my man went off to the circus in the IROC. I got to ride in the IROC when he opened it up. You feel me? Kaz a legend around here, real talk. All these niggas been around. We all been around. You know what I mean? I was there. I done watched everybody come through there from me, from Boom, Blake Flawless in there on the motherfucking, what was that, the ASR? Beating that motherfucker down, Mike D. You know what I mean? We was all in there, Brother Red. Rest in peace, Nom Dom.
Nom Dom. Hey, remember Wiley's?
Mm-hmm.
That's in, what city is that?
Dayton.
Dayton.
I bust my motherfucking head, nigga. Before we even get to the motherfucker. Some goddamn pussy walk in the door, I jump and bust my goddamn head.
Hey.
Nigga. And still make it to the show.
Really animated when it came to these hoes.
Oh, for sure.
I ain't gonna front. Hey, I can't lie. The boy got hoes. You know what I'm saying? But he really did get really excited.
Oh yeah.
When he knew we was on the venture to.
When the buses came in, you already know. You already know. Shit, I remember fucking with these niggas. It's so thick at the Freaknik, we can't even get in the motherfucking club. We can't get in the club, nigga. So I bought bitches to the goddamn RV and fucked them. I bought bitches to the RV for everybody and fucked them. And the one bitch smelled like mildew.
No cap.
No fucking cap.
Hey, I go back to the RV.
Hey, that was what?
The
90
RV
what?
is
93? What was that, 93?
Nah, Blinky
Blinky Bill, he got in the club, you and Cat. Y'all was the only two that got in the motherfucking club.
Yeah, but Cass had the gun.
He had the gun in the bag, and then Blinky was so drunk, his afro out here, he ain't know what to do.
Remember the small RV.
The little hat.
The
the first tour. See, you about to bring up some. He had to pay for that shit. He had to pay for that shit. We fucked that motherfucker up. Slink, Germ D, we fucked that. I know we didn't, but they did.
So yeah, the hood.
That was it, wasn't it?
The first time.
Yeah, that was
the
it.
real hood with us.
Hold on, that's when we had to leave your ass at Popeyes. This nigga at
got
Popeyes. Hold on, and in Louisiana at the barbershop. And he got left in New Orleans at the barbershop. This nigga, he don't listen. He thought he was the chief.
Hey.
The nigga didn't listen. He got left.
Hold up.
Yeah, hold up.
Y'all didn't leave me at no barbershop.
It was.
I told y'all to go ahead. I was fine. I'm going to get a haircut.
How you fine in New Orleans, nigga?
We
Before
on tour.
Katrina, nigga.
We on tour for weeks.
Nigga, Mystical
I want to get a haircut. I'm supposed to ride around looking rusty. These cats is crazy as hell.
Hey, Mystical would have came out the night for it on your ass. Ha ha! On your ass, nigga.
No, man.
On your ass.
Hey.
Nigga, they was downtown New Orleans drinking and smoking in the downtown. In the actual place. You don't remember that?
Yeah, New Orleans was crazy.
Nigga, and you down there
Shout
talking
out
about
to New Orleans.
Yeah, shout out New Orleans. Before Katrina.
Yeah.
Hold on, we bought some dirt weed out of 9th Ward. Mystical sold us some bad weed. I've been mad at that nigga ever since.
It was some dirt.
It was dirt.
And
we paid the high price for that shit because we was from Ohio.
It wasn't worse than Atlanta weed.
Freaknik again. Freaknik.
Hey, man, we gonna keep it $1. This in the 90s. We ain't gonna play y'all like y'all still got bunk weed.
Oh, right.
In the
Yeah.
90s.
Fuck with a few of y'all. So if y'all see this,
was whack.
and y'all know me now, but didn't know me then, don't say nothing. Don't take it like that.
Okay. Wow, I forgot.
Freaknik, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about the Freaknik?
Man, how many stages y'all got on that day? You and K-Love walking through when Kaz ate that motherfucking sausage, and you know Kaz wasn't no, he ain't eat that pork and shit. He said, "Oh, I don't know if it's pork or not." If we see this nigga run off,
hey man, that was crazy.
Hey, 3-6 Mafia was on stage, baby. We walking through, swear to goodness, it's at least 10,000 people. No cap, it's 10,000. We gotta walk from stages back here to the backstage. 3-6 Mafia, I don't know if y'all know back then, 3-6 Mafia had 30 people in the goddamn group. And they was all on stage. And man, we had to walk through there. It was, man.
We was in New York. Was that the Queen's time? Did I go to jail that time? But we went to jail.
No, I almost went to jail on the way home from New York, nigga. Kaz, I'm out there freezing, nigga. I'm asleep.
But was that the Queen's side?
I don't. When we had to put the feet on the door.
Yeah.
Nigga, we in New York, nigga.
But I'm telling you, at the same time.
Hold on. Let's see, cause I gotta that trip. You know what I mean? Because a lot of shit happened, bro.
So, all right.
I mean, from getting swooped on the way. I mean, from pulling up, going from New York, where it was halfway decent, to crossing that bridge, and where the fuck did we Bronx? Where the fuck we seen the Transes, and that was the hotel, cause you could go inside, and there was a door to the inside, but it was a door that you could get to on the outside too. Niggas sleep with the feet on the door, nigga. Niggas sleep.
That was Queen.
Niggas asleep with the feet.
Queen.
Was that Queen?
Was Queen.
I know we crossed that bridge, and it turned into poverty.
That was Queens, yeah.
Poverty, and we down there buying clothes and shit, and then I got robbed when I got back. I got robbed. But hold on, I'm gonna finish this story. We in New York when we first get there, cause I drove all the way down there. I get pulled over, pulled beside, right? I bust a left on red. I bust a left on a one-way on red.
One way to one way.
This motherfucker pulls up beside me and say, can you do that in Ohio? Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Hey, no, it was funny, cause we all said it in unison and shit. He like, hey, can you do that in Ohio? We all like, yeah.
Don't be such a smart ass. Then burped off on it. What the fuck is this, New York, bro? But that's the closest thing, how we could get money back then, you know. I mean, you know, buy it low, sell it high. You know what I'm saying? Macked up on the broad, nigga, we get a place to stay, nigga. One time, nigga, we looked up on these bitches, nigga. They whole goddamn dorm was going on spring break, nigga.
Cleveland?
We up in there, balls out up in that bitch.
You talking about
with
Cleveland?
some college bitches, nigga. Cleveland. This nigga sleep, we up getting fucked up. This nigga done went to sleep. We told them bitches he was a Vietnam vet, nigga. His whole right leg was fake, nigga. Them bitches was scared, nigga. Funny as hell, nigga. They come in there touching this man's dead ass leg, nigga. This nigga in there. Hey, bro, that's how we got down, bro. That's how we got, and we didn't even know these bitches. But we deep up in they dorm. We got the whole clique with us, bro. We up in there slamming spades and shit, drinking they motherfucking juice.
I think we did the show at the Millennium.
Donald, they had the club down there. The Beastie, Veils on the Circle. We used to go down there, man. That was my.
Veils?
Oh,
you talking about the fries with the
remember we went to the club and this nigga backed off the goddamn. About to back off the goddamn. That was Cleveland, wasn't it? This nigga
that was Cincinnati.
Oh my God, see, bro, we done been so many places,
that was
done
Cincinnati
so
when I
much,
almost
bro.
backed off the parking lot. But they shit built all weird and goofy
Man,
and shit.
I was about to say we need to
a
get back.
goddamn juke joint. That wasn't no club.
That was a club, bro.
Nigga,
it was like a VFW, bro, and you almost backed off that motherfucker, bro, stunting in the caddy.
When we used to do the shit with Judy, now that was a club. I don't know, what was the name of that big ass motherfucker spot by Popeyes?
Man, Vales.
Remember, that was the first time we had Popeyes. It was in Cincinnati.
No.
Nigga, they had that big ass club behind the Popeyes.
First time I had it was when we went to New Orleans. I mean, it was either Atlanta or New Orleans. I think it was New Orleans.
Nigga, it was Cincinnati.
Was it Cincinnati?
Yes, nigga. Cincinnati on Reading Road. Reading, something like that.
That sounds like the shit off of Monopoly, nigga.
But we went there every Christmas.
Reading Railroad.
We went there every Christmas though, for Judy's shows.
Right. Oh, that's when the dudes that started
you know what
Cash
I'm
Money and them.
Yes.
The LV. I mean, what was in there? But shit, man.
We did a mixtape with them cats. It was called Block Bleeders.
Block Bleeders.
I
remember them because I fell out.
We was on Block Bleeders too.
Dudes.
We wasn't on Block Bleeders 1. We was on Block Bleeders 2. That's what we was on. Yeah, because it was like I think Cash Money and Master P and them was on Block Bleeders 1.
My shit good.
Block Bleeders 2 did alright, but it did. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, from Scully's, Skankland, rather. Scully's now here in Columbus High Street.
Now,
Skankland, we was doing shows in there.
So, bro said we was at Misty's, but we didn't do a show the night we got shot at. Well, I got shot at and you was in the car with me. And you got
shit,
shot.
I don't even remember, bro. Shit, I don't even remember being at the club for real.
Right.
I remember us leaving.
You was at Misty's.
It was pink.
But you,
it was pink, but I do remember leaving.
Blake wasn't there. By the way, y'all wondering if I'm looking off to the side, it's the homeboy Blake Flawless.
Blake Flawless.
He's sitting over here in the cut.
Producer extraordinaire.
See, really when Mikey
golfer extraordinaire, barber extraordinaire.
He from the original. He from the original. It used to be me, Ray, and Mikey J.
It was 4 of us.
And Reek Rat.
Then it was 3 of us.
Rico, rest in peace, bro.
You feel me? Rest in peace, Rico.
When we went to New Orleans,
how many trips we
That's
gone?
what TB.
God damn.
Look, when we went to New Orleans, that's when Chef
from Mac 10
stole the socks.
I got a story about Chef from Mac 10 too.
That's when he stole TB socks, nigga.
I'm gonna wait for that. It's coming, though.
You know what you did, nigga.
It's coming.
I ain't even telling about you and Chef Mac's fight, but fuck it.
Put him up. It's coming, Shekel.
He stole Mikey.
You know that wasn't gonna slip out of this documentary, motherfucker. You know.
Mikey hit him with a left.
You know, nigga.
I ain't never seen.
We in
Kaz's house at the studio.
Yes, sir.
At the studio, 2116 East Haven, motherfucker. Where everybody know where the newsletters came from and shit like that, man.
This nigga, man. He was soft. He act like couldn't nobody talk about him. I called him a bitch.
Yeah, you
did. You? And he tried to call him and his whole neighborhood. Fuck your neighborhood, nigga. I don't care if you was a part of that short nor positive. What? I didn't care. I didn't care, dude. You ain't gonna try to play me weak.
Hey, and to give Shechem his props, Shechem said, fuck it. He said, bro, I thought I was outnumbered anyway. So he went for his. Sucked the shit out of Mikey J's ass. Mikey ain't no hoe though.
No, hold on, check this out. He didn't sock me.
Yes, the fuck he did.
You ever seen the cartoons? You ever seen Donald Duck when he get shot in his shit and his shit spin around? That nigga stole me like that. The bitch nigga walks away and then comes back with one. You feel me?
This nigga sucked
You
the shit
feel
out
me?
of this nigga.
He Donald Duck me. He Donald Duck me, but guess
He got-
what?
But Mikey
But
and lefty.
guess
Mikey
what?
and lefty. And most motherfuckers ain't ready for that motherfucker
Guess
when it
what?
come.
I was ready for the fight. I got stole on, so I walked out and I socked that nigga too. But guess what? He didn't make it outside. He ended up sleeping in the closet under a couple varsity jackets and shit.
And then Cass jumped on
This nigga
like
sleep
a
in the
spider
jacket,
monkey.
nigga.
Hey, I ain't never
Sleep
seen
with
my
the
nigga
jacket.
DJ Cass
He ain't
go in army mode and jump on my
He ain't sleep with the fishes. He slept with the jackets, nigga.
My goddamn house.
Check him, you slept with the jackets, bro. Love you to death, but you slept with the jackets that day, bro. You fucked with the wrong one, homie. I ain't no punk.
So they keep getting it confused. Remember we was in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Brownface was getting his hair braided, right?
And I beat my meat on that bitch. No, that was in
That was
that was at the
Omaha.
golf course.
That was Omaha.
That was Omaha, Nebraska, nigga.
Omaha, Nebraska.
That was Omaha, Nebraska, nigga.
Hey, hold on. Did she ever
Beat my
pass
meat
off?
on that bitch.
Was she naked or she had a
I
girl
don't know,
with shit
but I
on?
beat my meat on her. Niggas was scared. Like, and she didn't say nothing. These niggas said something. This bitch ain't say nothing. She just like, oh, I'm bust all on that bitch. Fuck it.
Hey.
We in whole Omaha, Nebraska, bro.
Remember I told you
We in whole Omaha, Nebraska, bro.
You remember how the cartoons back in
Let's
the day,
rock.
when you see some pussy and your eyes get real big, the
Nigga.
cartoon dude like, oh, you good?
Nigga.
This nigga. I'm just telling you
Hey,
right now.
I remember we
We
was
from
on,
Southfield.
we was on the way
I
to
ain't
New
gonna
York.
hurt that.
Hey, I don't even know if these niggas remember. We was on the way to New York and seen this horse with a fat ass. We seen this horse with a fat ass. Remember what's in the air there?
I thought we was on our way home from like Cincinnati or some shit. And your ass, nigga, you said, no, we seen the horse. And we ride by these horses. And this motherfucker just he said, damn, that horse got a fat ass. So I say, motherfucker, was you thinking about fucking this goddamn horse?
Hey, nigga, no.
What you think was your most memorable moment in Big Daddy Sound? Out of all the shit we did, bro. What was that one thing that when you be like, man, motherfucker?
Hey, when we did the little thing at the show, when act like old girl, when he took my girl, 112.
112.
When I act like she, and I came up with that. That was me.
That was your idea.
That was
a
me.
little bit.
That was me.
What was her name? You remember?
I forget, man.
Shout out to baby girl. You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are at the 112.
Yeah.
When we act like my cousin was taking my girl out the crowd, I had the whole crowd with me.
Yeah,
they thought this nigga on stage was taking my girl. You feel me?
You did look salty.
Hey, I had to play the role back. I'm an actor too, actor, comedian, weed grower. But all in all, though, for real, saying all that to say this. The journey that I took with BDS made me who I am right now, bro.
Okay, so who are you right now?
Right now, I'm 10 men in one, bro. I got 5 LLCs. I do e-commerce. I mean, anything business, I'm with it. You know what I mean? I learned that. If you're gonna get it, you gotta get it. Network, people all across America. Make it easy with this internet. Do your research. Ask about small bats. I'm in all the smoke shops, all my clothes, everything, man. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you go to my website, all that stuff. Watch this documentary. Real shit in this documentary. I know it's gonna be a lot of people, man, I don't get to see. And I just had to see when it come out. I'm out here about my business, man. And I appreciate everything BDS, Kaz, Boom, Blake, Mike D, everybody done for me, you feel me? And I'm gonna leave it with that though, you know what I mean?
Hey, well,
I'm just out here getting this bread.
I appreciate you showing up.
You already know.
Nah, real talk, bro.
You already
You
know.
my motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I was coming through. I was just right down the street too.
I
just
told-
right up the street.
I told my brother, Cash, I said, I got to make sure
we got Chief Mac on this documentary.
Yes, sir.
Because everybody that know from the beginning of Big Daddy Sound, if you didn't know Cass, you thought this nigga owned Big Daddy Sound. And I ain't saying
I was that motherfucker,
I
man.
ain't saying that in a bad way.
Hey, you see me?
I'm saying that's how hard my man rep Big Daddy Sound.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you for that, brother.
To the fullest.
You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
I know you about to get up out of here.
Yes, sir.
You gotta get your baby mama's car home.
You stupid.
Back in the day, back in like 1984, way back in the day when I graduated, a little way back, I was a DJ as well. I don't know how many of you younger DJs may remember about the Midwest Battle of the DJs that was thrown at the Ohio State Fairgrounds. Security provided by Columbus Police. Those was my parties. Way back in the day, starting to bring hip hop together so we could unify and try to get good. A little later in the story, I started managing rock and roll bands and working to get deals around the city, trying to get everybody on it I could, because I had an incident to where I was a musician, but my people didn't get stage time as they were supposed to, so I decided to go behind the instruments and try to help out the artists as much as I could. Now we're gonna fast forward a little bit to where there was a citywide, or should I say statewide, audition or meeting to talk about a future album that was coming out, which was referred to as Urban Elements 2. I had no idea who was making the album. I had no idea who was on the album. All I knew that there was a meeting at the Columbus Public Metropolitan Library, and if I could get my boys on, then I'm gonna be there, because that's what I do. So I go to this meeting, a lot of people there, a lot of different people, different types of music, hip hop, gospel, rock and roll, jazz, all kind of people there sitting in attendance. Then all of a sudden I see at the head of the table the quietest dude in the whole room. Everybody else is chattering and having things to say. But then finally, when it was time to call the meeting to attention, one of the smallest gentlemen in the room just took over the room and started sharing what his focus was for this album. He wanted to bring together the whole state of Ohio to show the unification and how hip hop and other music can make the Midwest a good place, a good market for music. So, with that being said, I went to him and let him know about my boys, which was a rock and roll band at the time. They were interested initially, then because of other situations, circumstances, they fell out. With that being said, good friend of mine, Mike Davis, during that time period, I just happened to be working with him on some production things for one of his up-and-coming artists who happened, her name was Brooke Crossan, who happened to be one of the people that was going to be invited to possibly be on this same album. So then, because of Mike Davis, I got to meet Greg on a more interpersonal level. And between Mike Davis and Greg and myself, that's when that little bond started, and I got to meet the rest of the people. And then that's when things changed for me in the game. Now, what am I and what do I do in this? Well, I'm the guy you see, you don't see, but you do see. I work behind the scenes. Sometimes I basically do whatever Greg asked me to do. If there's a concert, like the concert when we went to Philadelphia Bike Week, Greg had some artists going down, we all rode together. Of course, you need for the artists to have to be able to perform, so you need someone else to make sure that everything's going to be set up on the stage right, they get their time right, all the business end of that, so the artists can remain artists. It's a couple of times where Greg relied on me to do that for him, and instead, I have no problem with that because I'm not a rapper anymore. So I'm good with that end. There's another time Greg, back on the business end, he took me to Atlanta with him. Oh my goodness, let me tell you about Atlanta. We rode up out of here, we was going for a week. I took 7 pair of shoes and tried to wear them all, and it rained. Didn't get to wear none of them, so I'm just carrying 7 pair of shoes around in the car for nothing. We get down to Atlanta. Jermaine Dupri and them was down there. Janet Jackson and them was shooting that video in the hotel we was in. And while we sitting there at the video shoot, this gentleman comes up to Greg and says, hey, are you Greg Curtis, Big Daddy Sound? And Greg was like, yeah, that's me. And he was like, I just sent you $5,000 check for the units that we purchased from you. And Greg's sitting there looking at me at like, I don't know that guy. I don't remember nobody putting that order in like that. Turned around, it was all a ploy. It was just some woman trying to have relations that wasn't gonna happen just because she seen we was with Big Daddy Sound and thought we was gonna do some things, invited us back to the Atlanta Stadium to do some things. Can do that. Got to stay professional when we away on business. That's when we was able to network, go to the Independent Music Festival convention. Had a great time. Learned a lot of good things from this man. Another time we went to we had a concert in Zanesville in a garage. And I was there doing the same thing. Greg was there this time though, so I didn't really have a lot to do but just walk around and make sure there wasn't nobody doing nothing stupid, and it was all good. Another thing you might notice about me is I may look familiar because I'm in quite a few videos. Some of them I actually helped the direction of. I actually shot some of the original Ohio Players DVDs. I was the one shooting some of that footage when y'all seen all those girls. I was the one behind the camera some of the time. Not all of the time, but a lot of the time. And another thing, we had a show, one time I'm gonna tell you this one, I was not pleased. We were shooting a squat with Deep Sea. At the time that we had some female dancers at the video shoot, and my dumb ass went and got like $100 of prop money out the bank, and we had to shoot the video 4 or 5 takes, and wound up this young lady started taking my money, keeping it for herself, and I'm trying to tell her this is prop money. You don't need to be keeping that money. It's not for you. It's for me, and she would not give it back. And I was not pleased. Turned out later on that night, that same young lady, we was actually having a Big Daddy Sound model contest that night. That was a good day. A lot of nice ladies came out, represented Columbus very well, very well. However, that same lady was there, and she the one that almost got us kicked out because she the one laying around on the floor all naked with her butt out and stuff. You don't be doing that in public, not at a BDS affair, unless it's the after party, and that's a whole nother story. But anywho, if you look at John Jacobs' video, I'm in that. You look at Deep Sea's video, I'm in a couple of those. You look at Mr. Real's video, I'm in one of those. So basically, you see me incognito, and sometimes you may actually see me directing the video and not know it. Like for instance in the Deep Sea video when they're in the nice club downtown, there's a toast scene. That toast scene wouldn't even be there if it weren't for me saying, come on y'all, let's get together and have a toast, make it look like a party. You know, little things like that. Just adding to the mix. Because DJ Cass and Big Daddy Sound always gave you the opportunity, if you had some skill sets and weren't just trying to bum, then you could do something. And Greg always gave you that opportunity. Now, that's all I got for right now. Big Daddy Sound forever. Peace.
So, I got a legendary For You DJ story. Me, Cass, Pony, Top Notch. We're doing our thing. All the turntables set up. At the Gilbert Party House, party's bumping, stacked, and Wayne is mixing. He's mixing a song, and it's just like rocking out. And then this chick walks in, and he just melts. He just melts, and it's slowly the songs that he are mixing slowly start to get off beat, and it's like okay, you got a beat. It's like do-doon, 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 do-doon. They're both playing on sync, and then it starts to go do-doon. And I'm like, I look over at him and he's just like, I'm like, Wayne! And then I just fade him out. That is his wife to this day. Ain't that just a beautiful story? That's what I
think this would be the only video of the For You DJs.
Four.
Yes, sir. 3 of us.
Yes.
Other ones in Virginia.
Top Notch is doing
Top
his
Notch.
thing.
Top Notch. We love you, baby.
Love you, Top.
Love you.
Top
Absolutely.
For You DJs.
For life. For life.